For years, Euphoria kept me on the edge of my seat with its cautionary storytelling about addiction, consequences, and the fragile nature of youth in modern times. And at times, it felt like every parent's worst nightmare brought to life. The show never shielded away from depicting what Gen Z and other young generations experience or what they could potentially experience in high school. And it felt like it was the grassy junior high, but like on pure acid. It was often uncomfortable, sometimes devastating, but almost impossible to stop watching. Kind of like a, I don't know, storytelling train wreck of sorts. Now, the show was created by Sam Levinson, and the series follows Zendaya's Rue Bennett, a teenager struggling with grief, identity, relationships, and a brutal addiction to drugs. Told largely through Rue's narration and perspective, the show constantly raises an interesting question. How much of it are we seeing of the show is reality? And how much of it is filtered through the eyes of an addict? Were some of the show's most outrageous moments exactly as they happened, or were they exaggerated by Rue's damaged perception? The answer is probably somewhere in between, and that's part of what made the storytelling so compelling. The supporting cast was equally unforgettable. It launched a career of Jacob Elordi, Sydney Sweeney, Hunter Schafer. They're now like Hollywood's upper tier. Every character seemed to carry their own emotional damage, secrets, and self destructive tendencies. And for as many storylines to invest in, the show never pulled punches when it came to sex, violence, trauma, and heartbreak. What I think Euphoria got right, more than anything else, was consequences. Karma, the invisible, I don't know, co star of the series, was karma. Actions had weight, choices mattered, mistakes lingered, and no matter how beautiful the cinematography was or stylish the presentation became, the show never let viewers forget that addiction destroys lives, damages friendships, fractures families, leaves scars that simply don't disappear because someone wants them to. And that's why the finale hit me so hard. I wanted Rue to live. I wanted the best for Rue. I felt like I knew Rue in a lot of ways. Most of us have known someone like this, someone intelligent, gifted, beautiful, full of potential. Sorry, I'm sweating like a pig in here. It's hot in this yacht bedroom. Someone that had potential, but just couldn't overcome the demons that were pulling them down. And over the course of the series, watching Rue stumble, recover, relapse, and then fight her way through life felt painfully familiar because addiction doesn't just affect the addict, it affects everyone who loves them. The finale wasn't designed to make us feel good, it was designed to make us feel honest, and a neat happy ending would have felt, I think, morally irresponsible. Addiction isn't funny, it's not glamorous, it's not stylish, despite what social media or pop culture suggest. It's deadly, it's tragic. Recovery is messy, it's uncertain, and rarely wrapped up in a perfect bow. What Euphoria did right and what was memorable, not so much the shock value, though it certainly had plenty of that. It's the empathy buried beneath the chaos. Underneath the drugs, the sex, the violence, and neon lights was a story about young people desperately trying to survive their pain. Some succeeded, some failed, some never recovered. And when the credits rolled, I didn't feel satisfied. I felt heartbroken. But I also felt grateful that a show was willing to tell the truth about addiction, even when the truth was ugly. More than anything, I feel Euphoria reminded me of how much our young people need us. They need guidance, they need patience, they need older people with experience to support them, and they need adults that are willing to listen before it's too late. After watching the finale, I found myself texting my kids an extra set of I love yous. I found myself wanting to hold them a little closer. I still find myself getting choked up. And if a television show can leave you reflecting on your own family and the people who you care about the most, then it has done something very special. Euphoria wasn't always easy to watch. Sometimes it felt like was witnessing a train wreck in slow motion. But for all of its excesses, all of its controversy, and all of its darkness, it remained one of the most emotionally affecting portrayals of addiction and adolescence television has ever produced. And like Rue herself, it was messy, flawed, beautiful, frustrating, and impossible to forget. Great job.